audible to you all? Yes, quickly confirm, please. Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you so much for confirming. This event is an ML Ops Fundamentals. My name is Apurva, and I will be the host of today's Scalars Masterclass. We will be beginning in the next few minutes as people, as you can see, that the count of audience is steadily increasing. So we will be getting started in the next few minutes. Thank you so much for joining on a Saturday, on a weekend, and I hope that you guys have a great session today. But before we do that, I'm just confirming that along with me being audible and visible, is my screen also visible and is working good for you? Okay, perfect. So as you can see that these are some of the meeting platform guidelines which are shared on the Drona. This platform, I keep addressing it as Drona. This platform, it's called Drona. We have built it here at Scalar itself. And this is the place where we do all of these live masterclasses. So just confirming if you have interacted with our platform before, if you have interacted with me, with any of the instructors, with any of the masterclasses, if you have done that before, just give me a thumbs up. If you have never attended any Scalar masterclass, this is your first time, give me a thumbs down. So as you can see that there are majority, I think a lot of people have done these sessions before as well, but a lot of them actually are doing a Scalar masterclass for the very first time and choosing to do it on a weekend. That is amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. So as you can see that the instructor for today's session, Akash, has also joined, and while he's setting up his system, we will be going through the platform very, very quickly. We'll be skimming through it, trying to understand what is this a platform all about. Since we are going to be here for the next 2.5 hours, the duration is from 5 to 7:30 with a small short break in between. So I want to make sure that everybody is comfortable for the next 2.5 hours. All right. So I hope that you are all able to go through the meeting platform guidelines, a sort of a checklist which we have presented in front of you. Please make sure that you follow these instructions while you are on a Scalar masterclass. This is how your Drona is going to look like. The place where all of you are giving me a thumbs up, a thumbs down, as well as chatting with each other and with me. That is exactly what you're supposed to do here. Please, one thing that you need to keep in mind is do not be disrespectful. Do not put links or messages which are not relevant to today's masterclass. And do not spam. Don't put the same thing again and again or repeatedly. That is not going to be welcome in this session. I hope I have made my point clear. If you're found doing that, we'll have to mute you. We'll have to ban you, and that is only going to spoil your experience and the experience of other joiners. So let's make sure that we make this masterclass an amazing interactive place, which we'll be talking more about MLOps, etc. So I hope that everybody is aligned with me on that. Next is the notice board, where you can see that we have shared a few links on the notice board, a pin icon on your right hand side. That is the place where we'll be sharing few links in the upcoming 2.5 hours. So make sure to keep checking the notice board for your reference. Moving ahead is the questions tab. As you can see, here is the questions tab, and if you guys have any questions, please make sure that you're putting your questions in the questions tab. So please make sure that you are all participating in the chats, and please put your questions in the questions tab. I can see that there are no active questions right now, but as the session moves ahead, I'm sure that you guys will have questions. And at the end, if the time permits us, we will be picking up questions from the questions tab. Now, addressing the number one question, are recordings available? So the recordings are not available. They are only available for Scalar enrolled learner. So if you are a Scalar enrolled paid learner, it will be available to you on your dashboard. But if you're not a paid learner, I'm sorry, but the recordings will not be available to you. Raghavendra, all of that will be covered by Akash when he joins. He'll be setting the agenda, and he will be letting us understand if it's going to be hands-on, if it's going to be theoretical, who is this session meant for. I think it will be taken up by him when I pass it over to him in the next 1 minute. Yes and no, as you guys are aware of what that does, this is for you to toggle the view. And the final thing is the polls. So we'll be launching few polls in the session. I request everybody's participation. I want it to be interactive. I do not want this to be like a movie streaming platform. So please make sure that you are all participating in the session. Just quickly launching the first poll, which is, how would you rate your present understanding of the topic? Are you comfortable with this topic? Like, you know everything about it, you know something about it, or if you are not at all aware of this topic, just click on C. If you are comfortable, you know what you're doing, click on A. If you have some exposure, click on B. And if you do not know anything, click on C. Perfect. So this is exactly how all polls are going to work. I hope I have made myself clear. Recordings, as I said, will not be available. Notes will be available to you on the WhatsApp group. And with that being said, I think I'll hand it over to Akash to get started. I hope everybody enjoys the session. I will see you guys in the break. There'll be a certificate. We'll talk about that later. Perfect. Over to you, Akash. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Apurva. Hello, everyone. I hope all of you are able to see me and hear me. Okay. Yes, I will start with a quick introduction so that you know at least who is talking to you and who is taking the session. Okay. So a quick introduction about myself. Hello, everyone. I am Akash Rajpuria. Right now, I am a staff software engineer at Celigo. Prior to that, I have worked as a senior data scientist at EPAM. Okay, so the card that you are seeing right now is EPAM one. Last 2 months before, I have changed to Celigo as a staff software engineer. Prior to that, I have worked as a senior lead data scientist at Pfizer. I hope everyone knows after COVID, Pfizer. Prior to that, I was a data scientist at Reliance Jio. So I have roughly around 8 years of experience in this field. And I am very, very, very much passionate about teaching. You would see that in today's session also. I'm associated with Scalar from a long time. I've completed my I have completed my MTech in data science from BITS Pilani. And currently I'm pursuing PhD also from Golden Gate University in data science. Okay. So that's a bit background about myself. And yes, I'm going to talk about in this session about my projects as well in terms of MLOps, how it can help you, why you need to learn everything. Okay, now, before I start everything, I just want to confirm one or two things. Just let me first share my screen. Okay. So before I start, everyone can confirm you can hear me very properly, can see me, can see my screen. I am super duper excited for today's session. Can I see the energy, guys? Everyone. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Yes, we'll be a little bit more louder also. That's perfectly fine. Now, guys, one more thing. First, let me set up the agenda. Okay, what we are going to cover in today's session. So we will start with what is machine learning. We will understand what is Git. Okay, we are going to understand what is Streamlit. Okay, we are going to understand what is API. We are going to understand why do we need a Docker. Okay, we are going to understand what is ECR and ECS. We are going to understand what is Kubernetes. Okay, we are going to understand what is CI/CD pipeline. Okay, and then finally I'm going to give you a final roadmap also at the end. Okay, now this is exactly what we are going to cover. Now, everyone tell me one thing. This is the complete MLOps module. You can say that complete MLOps module. Now tell me one thing. Is it possible to cover everything in 2 hours? Thumbs up. Everyone, is it possible to cover everything? Okay, perfectly no. It's not possible to complete everything in 2 hours. Okay, so I first want that key agenda. Like what is our session for? Who is this session for? What you're going to benefit it? So your scope should be very clear. So you can decide whether you want to be in the session or not. Okay, so that the most use of the session you can take it. Now, basically, this is what we are going to cover. So what I'm going to tell you here is, I'm going to give you the introduction about all these topics. I have kept here the code part of it to understand what is it. Okay, and we are going to have a overview of this every stuff here from a story and from a industry perspective. As an industry expert, I'm going to guide you here on this part to understand each and the every component where it sits in the pipeline. So now imagine it like this: ki you're working as a DevOps engineer, you're working as a machine learning engineer, you're working as a UI engineer, okay, you're working as a, let's say, a senior data scientist. So how you can transition from your role and how you can move to a MLOps? This is exactly the class for. This class is not for in detail understanding. I hope everyone understand that this is a complete 3 months, 4 months, 2 months ka program. Okay, and we cannot cover that in one session. In this session, you are going to just understand that, okay, I am on this place. I know DevOps. I know, let's say, Docker. How I can transition again to MLOps? This is the perfect session to understand it. This is a complete in-depth guidance to understand the different components so that you should be able to solve them. Okay, so this is complete MLOps required, and you are from any part. Okay, like I said, you any part in your technical domain, anything from complete scratch. Also, you would be able to understand that how you can take one by one step forwards. Okay, you are going to get some amazing things at the end. I'm going to share you a lot of things at the end, like for example, how this is related to LLM ops. Okay, how this is related to AI ops, how it is related to DevOps. These things also I'm going to share you at the end. Okay, so first of all, everyone clear with what is our scope of the session? Very clear idea? 100%? Yes, everyone? Can I see the energy once again? Chalo. Very, yes. Super awesome. Okay, I see there are some learners who have already learned from me from previous also. That's very awesome, very awesome. Okay, chalo. We will keep some doubts part also so your doubts get solved. Now, second thing, guys, every time in my session, I say just these two things. You need to keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to repeat it here. First is, whenever I am explaining you something, at that time, do not ask any doubts. Why, Akash? Why not? See, what would happen? I am explaining you some concept. You're trying to understand that. But when you get a doubt, you start typing it. Maybe you will think for a right grammar, right sentence, right words, and you will be busy in typing and framing that. And you will miss what I'm saying. Okay? So don't do that. Okay? You can connect with me later on after the session also. You have like complete Scalar also. Now Scalar also would give you free guidance in complete detail. Whatever you have, anything related to content, anything related to, you can easily get a call back from them also. Okay, so you can easily get that. That is one thing. So don't miss the session in typing the doubts. Second thing, you don't need to take any notes also. This complete notes what I'm going to give you, these are very beautiful notes. Okay, if you are planning to move into MLOps, I would say that this is one and only thing that you require. So you will like this notes a lot when I go forward. Okay, so you don't need to take any notes also. Again, the same thing. If you keep typing, if you keep writing, you will miss what I'm saying. Okay. Yes. So I hope this is very clear. देखो भाई हमें AI bots बनाना सीखना है, उन्हें integrate और उनका deployment सीखना है, तो topic deviate ना करो. Okay, I hope Alpha Shukla, you have heard it very clearly what I was saying. Okay, and if you have heard it, your doubt would be very clear as we go forward. Exactly, we are going to do that only. Okay, yes, what is MLOps? Everything you will get that. Okay, now, very awesome, perfect. Let's get started on this. We will start with a quick poll. Okay, one poll is there. So let's launch that poll. Apurva, you can launch the poll. Guys, if you want one-on-one call from Scalar, just click yes for your any doubts, anything, roadmap, anything. If you don't want it, it is maybe later. So if you click maybe later, yes, this is completely free. Yes. Never option is there. If you don't want it maybe later, that is never option. Finish. I need to know about the fees and curriculum and the scholarship. Yes, Geeta, perfectly you can get that. Just click on yes, you will get a call regarding everything, fees, curriculum, scholarship. If I want to understand like things more in detail, I stand in the career in this path, how to move on, all that stuff. Okay, super. Chalo. So guys, sit back, relax. All your doubts should be solved and completely focus on the screen. I'm going to take your doubts in intervals. Okay. Till then, be very interactive and try to let's get started on this. Now, I will start with a very simple, what you called as very simple example. Okay. So just a second. Yes. Okay. So now I will start with a very simple example. Everyone, you need to answer this. So imagine it like this. Ki I have two candidates. We'll start with the story. Candidate 1, candidate 2. Okay. Candidate 1 is basically earning around 5 lakh rupees per year. And second candidate is earning around 5 lakh rupees per month. We know more details about this candidate. This candidate is a male candidate. He is married. Okay. He is single here. Then we know multiple details more about this candidate. Now, both the candidates have applied for a loan here. Okay. The loan amount is something around 20 lakh rupees. The loan they have for 20 lakh rupees. Okay. A small amount, 20 lakh rupees, they have opted both of them for. Now, imagine that you are a bank and you have only one option to select a candidate whom you can give a loan. Okay, which one you would select, guys? Only one candidate you have the option. Perfect. C2. Mananpreet says C1. Okay, maybe Mananpreet wants to do some other deal with C1. C2. Perfect. Very good. So I would go with C2. Very simple reason. I see that the paying capacity of C2 is super high. He is earning a good amount. So very probable that he is going to pay off my loan. So I would go with that. Okay. Yes, with some corruption, I have to go with C1. Now, guys, just a minute. I'm giving you one more information. The name of this candidate is C2 is Vijay Mallya. Now tell me, guys, will you give a loan to C1 or C2? C1 or C2? Perfect. No one? Yes. Now you can see that your option changed to C1. So exactly, guys, now pay attention on the screen. This is what I wanted to mimic in front of you. This is exactly how the things work. Now rewind 10 seconds of, let's rewind the 10 seconds of the session. First, your answer was C2. Immediately, I give you some data and it changed to C1. So basically what had happened, you already have the information like the previous data. Basically, you already have this information with you about C1, C2, you have that information. Okay. Now, based on that information, based on basically data, you made a decision here that, okay, Akash, I am going to go with C2. C2 is a good candidate for me. But the moment you get little bit more data, more history, basically your decision changes to C1. So what you have done here, basically you have learned here from the history. So you know that in history, Vijay Mallya type of people are never going to pay back the loan, even they have money. They will do podcast and all that, but they will never pay back the money. Okay, so that is basically you have learned from history. And you have changed your decision. It is not rule based. It is not like that there is a rule. Any person who comes with the name of Vijay Mallya, I would reject him. Or any person who comes with the name of Vijay, I will reject it. No, that is not a rule. It is not a rule-based thing. Basically, you have learned it from the experience. This is exactly called as human learning. We all learn from our experiences, okay? And we try to improve ourselves. Now, exactly same thing you are going to do for machine also. Machine learning. Now, instead of human doing this learning, we will make machine learn the things. Given a data to a machine, Machine would able to predict whether to reject the loan or whether to accept the loan. Now machine would learn this. Machine would try to mimic as a human learning. Exactly, this is called as machine learning. So this was one story based example. Let's deep dive into our data and let's try to understand with an example of a real data. Okay, now that's what we are seeing. Pay attention on the screen before going to doubts. Pay attention, this is very awesome example. Very simple example. Now see that, imagine that this I have a data. Years of experience is 1, salary of that person is 10K. Years of experience is 2, salary is 20,000. Years of experience 3, 30,000. Years of experience 4, 40,000. Year of experience 5, 50,000. Now guys, tell me, if the years of experience is 6, what is the salary? Tell me Gauri, tell me Lakshmi, tell me Raj, tell me everyone, what is the salary here? Everyone. Awesome, 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 awesome. Very good. It is 60K like I see here. Okay, very good. 60K. Now a question comes, Akash, how did we come that C or C 6 is 60K? Basically, if you see, you have a pattern, you have made a pattern in your mind. What is that pattern? The pattern is simple, Akash. I can see here you are taking the years of experience, you are multiplying it with 10K, and you would get the salary here. So this is a simple pattern I found. Years of experience is 2. I multiply by 10K. I got the salary as 20K. So if you are asking me for 6, I will keep it here 6 into 10K equals to 60K. So that's what you have done in your mind. Very, very, very simple thing. Exactly, guys. This is called as machine learning. This is just one equation. Just this maths part that you see here. This is called as machine learning. Now see, right now, because this data was really very simple, okay, you were able to do it manually also. I can see the pattern, I can do it. But imagine it like this, I make you a data scientist at SBI. SBI gives you their, let's say, 1 million customers ka data. Do you think that the pattern would be so easy to find out? Perfectly no. It is not possible like that. Okay, so basically machine would try to learn to make this type of equations. So machine learning is nothing but just simple this maths equation that it learns. Now once it has learned this maths equation, you can predict the future values as well, like I have predicted here for 6. I can predict that value. So this is exactly called as machine learning. Now let's look at this example, and then after that I will give you some time to ask your doubts. Now pay attention. So what is machine learning model? So what I explained you right now, this is called as linear regression. This one simple line that you see, this is called as linear regression. So what I'm going to do here, pay attention. You have here from sklearn.linear model, import linear regression. So you are basically saying that I want to import this thing that is linear regression. So basically it has everything, okay, for linear regression, like how you can get this 10K value, how you can get this equation. So this all things are mentioned in this linear regression. So you create an object for linear regression. So here the object of linear regression is created. Okay. Now what you do is you say this object dot fit. This is the fit method. You pass your data here exactly like we did in our Vijay Mallya wala case. Okay. So we pass our data here, that is experience and salary. Now this model would learn this expression, that is experience into 10K equals to salary. This is what the model is going to learn. Now once this model has learned this, okay, you will use the same model here and you can predict for the experience that you want. So for tomorrow, let's say Dayashankar says that I want to predict for 6 years. He would just write 6. This model means this line, it will predict the salary, that is 60K. So that's how a machine learning works. Okay. This is a very short introduction. Basically, you will see the maths also behind this in the same fun way later on in some other sessions. But this is the very first clear idea of our agenda. We have understood what is machine learning. First of all, everyone, is that crystal clear, everyone? A big thumbs up on this point. The first point we have done it. What is machine learning? मजा आ रहा है, समझ में आ रहा है everyone? Okay, awesome. I see a lot of energy here. I'm really very happy. Okay, sorry to interrupt, but can we focus on MLOps instead of MLs? This topic is MLOps, how to pre-build a model into production. The audience is likely familiar is why they have joined MLOps. Okay, so Naresh, like I have already set up very clear the agenda. I hope you have joined on time. Okay, so we have just a basic introduction of ML so that everyone is on the same page. Okay, now we are going to start everything after that is of MLOps. Okay, and I hope this is very clear with everyone also. Okay, don't worry, Raj, you will see that everything in detail later on. Okay. Yes, knowledge of maths, whatever is required, you will get to know when you learn this. No, this is not reinforcement learning and all that. Okay. Perfect. Now everyone focus on the screen. We have understood how to make a machine learning model. Okay, in a very much detailed manner we have seen it. See, all these doubts what are related to, let's say for example, fit, transform and all that, this is very much in detail regarding the code. We will see it later on afterwards in a very much detail. Okay, but right now your idea should be clear. Now pay attention everyone. Any problem statement it is. Let's say for example, I am working for Google. I get a mail. Now I want to classify whether this mail is a spam mail or a non-spam mail. Okay, now tell me guys, do you think that there is a guy sitting behind in Google who is going to read every mail and see that, okay, he will say that, so this is a spam mail, this is a non-spam mail? Perfectly no. There is a machine behind it who have learned the patterns and that can classify spam and non-spam. Similarly, in your Uber one, okay, which rider you are going to get, that rider, how much the estimation it would be like you are going to spend 700 on this ride, 400 on this ride. Is there a human behind it who would calculate that, okay, you are going from Taj Mahal to Taj Mahal hotel and you need to pay like 4,000 rupees? No. Again, there is a machine learning model that has learned from the patterns and that can predict what would be your cost of this ride. So this is where everywhere that you see around you, machine learning is there in every major of the examples. Okay, now we have completed our first step of model building. So basically, you code everything in a .py file. So whatever things I have showed you here, now like for example, linear regression ka, we create an object, then we use .fit method. Okay, then we use .predict method. This all you put that in a .py format. .py means Python format. Now guys, let's move to the next step. So everyone pay attention. Your MLOps journey is started now. So those who are from DevOps, they would be able to understand it, connect it very well, and 100% everyone would understand after this. So now, what I was saying all of you is, once your model is made, let's say .py file. Okay, sorry, .py file, this model is made. Now, don't you think that when you work on a project, any project it can be, let's imagine that it's a simple project of spam, or email is a spam mail or a non-spam mail. I want to do this simple part. Now, there are a lot of things behind this. Okay, a lot of features you need to build it here. So maybe you are not only one who is working on this project. Maybe there are a lot of other guys also, those who are working. Let's say there is a team working behind this project. So will you share your code? So let's say for example, you have this code. Will you share that on a mail and you will ask them that, okay, now take this code and then work on this? I would say no, probably no. Okay, you never work like that in the industry. So what you need to do is you need to have some distributed system. Distributed system means there would be a system here, okay, that has the complete code repository. And distributed means we will keep some copies also of this. Now imagine that this is a very important code. Imagine it, I will give you one example also. When I was working for Reliance Jio, okay, we were working for a very important project that was eye disease detection. So based on your eye image, we can detect like what disease you have. So now that complete code is present over here. Okay, or imagine that you're working for Instagram and Instagram has one complete code here. That code is basically recommending the next reel that you're going to watch. Okay, the complete code is there. Now imagine that by mistake you have deleted this code, or let's say someone purposely deleted this code. Then the complete project would be lost. Huge amount of money that is already paid to the developer that is lost. Okay, and maybe that can make Instagram shut down within some days. So it is very important that you have a distributed system. You create a replica of that. Okay, so that even if it is deleted, you have somewhere that code present. Now, along with that, what you do is you do here the version control. Now, what do you mean by version and what do you mean by control? Let's break it down in a very, very, very simple way. So first thing is you need to have multiple versions. Okay, so, okay, guys, one thing, just I want to understand one thing because I saw one doubt from Sachin. Is this speed good? Those who are completely beginner or some experience, those they are understanding. Quick thumbs up if the speed is perfect. I can increase, I can decrease the speed. Everything, the tune is in my hand. So if you're liking, thumbs up. If you're not liking, thumbs down. Yes, we can follow. Okay. I see a very thing, all the things perfect. This is MLOps topic only, Shraddhanshu. This is the first MLOps topics. Yes, this is the right session for you, Dhruv. You can understand everything from this. Perfect. Now pay attention once again back to the screen, guys. Okay, yes. Now, we have here version control. Version control means you have a code. Okay, now what happens is, let's imagine it like this. We have here candidate A, B and C. So this is the code right now. So let's say that candidate A, let's say Adarsh said that I am going to take this code, okay, and I am going to add a feature on it. Maybe that feature is very simple, okay, that is based on the history. I can predict or I can give you the next reel. Something like this feature is there. So candidate A is working on it. So candidate A, Adarsh took this code, he added the feature, and basically, let's say the accuracy was 85%. It increased to, let's say, 95% after this. Then let's say candidate B came into the picture. Okay, B said that I will take this code and improve it better. He did the code and he improved it to 97%. Now let's imagine it like this, the third candidate came. Okay, so this was, let's say, Baban. And then now we have C, that is, let's say, Chaman. Now Chaman says that I will increase this more. But while increasing this, what happens? He was coding, he was trying to improve it. He has given his best. But now this accuracy went down to 67%. Now what happens? If you are working that in a local code in your environment, in your laptop, you will never be able to go back to this part because you have already changed everything. Imagine that there is a Word file. Okay, in Word file you have written something, you have saved it. Okay, and you have again saved it. You have added something. Now there is no way that you can go back. So this is again the complete project is lost. So basically now here comes the thing that is called as Git and GitHub. So basically these two things are for your version control. You can use this as version 1, version 2, version 3. And you can control it. You can every time go back to version 2. Now Control Z, you are not making Vignesh only one file change. Imagine that you have changed 15 files to go from this 97 to 67%. You will not be able to do Control Z. Okay, you will never be able to go back to this 97. So I'm use here Git and GitHub to control the version. If I want to go back to B, I can very easily go that. Now, what is the difference between all this? Let's try to understand that in a detailed manner. Okay, now see, this is what I said. Version control is like a time machine for your code and models. It tracks every changes, who made it and when they have made it. See what has changed, who has changed it, when it has changed it, and I can go back to any previous version that I want. Now see that the same exact scenario I've kept it here so that whenever you go through this notes, you have everything in your mind and you can start at any place. So Rahul improves the accuracy to 95. Priya accidentally breaks the code. Without version control, all work is lost. With version control, you can revert back to the Rahul's version. You can go back to the Rahul version. Now just look at this code. You will understand everything in a very detailed manner. So you can see that everyone is able to read this. Is it fine? The Zoom? Thumbs up? Yes? Okay, very good. Perfect. So now you can see that I have started it. This hash means comments here. Okay, this hash means comments here. So you can see that I have started with git init Aadhaar verification ML. So you can see that everywhere you will find git. So basically git is nothing. It is basically you can use this as a tool to do the version control. So using this git, you can do the version control. Now, see, if I'm saying that I want to do a version control, I want to maintain some history, I want to keep a code distributed, I would need a server for that. Okay, so now see, pay attention what I'm doing in this. Pay attention. So when I say git init Aadhaar verification ML, so I'm working for a Aadhaar project here. Maybe I'm doing adding some feature for verification, like you can do KYC on your mobile phone, something like that using machine learning. So init means I'm creating a empty project, or you can call it as like my empty room. So a complete project or a repo is created here. Now this repo is being tracked with git. Now what I say, git add Aadhaar model.py. So exactly like we have created .py file above, like this is one of the py file. So I've created a Aadhaar ML py file. So I'm going to add that file here. Okay. Now see that basically when we understand GitHub and Git, we understood using three commands that is called as ACP. That ACP Pradyuman wala ACP. So A stands for add, C stands for commit, and P stands for push. Now what does this three things means? See, when you are doing let's say a race or something like that, a sprint, something, so you say three things. You say get, set, and go. Okay, get, set, go. So you have here get, set, go. So basically in get, you get on the mark, set means you get the position, and go means you start running. Now exactly in the same way we do it here also. Add means you are going to add a file. So I am adding a file here. Then I am saying that I am going to commit it. Okay, commit means that I have added my changes. So I have added here the commit line. You can see git commit, and dash m means I am adding a message here. Initial Aadhaar verification model, and the accuracy is 85%. This is just like a message here. Okay. Then once I have done a commit here, guys. One more thing I will tell you. This is the last time I am focusing on the interruption. Now see that I already have set up the agenda in the starting. That this is what we are going to cover. Okay, and I need to cater the complete audience here. So maybe let's say, for example, you are a DevOps engineer who knows all the things up to, let's say, ECR. So you need to be a little bit patient here till all the learners come to the ECR part. Just because you know that I cannot jump it to ECR and I cannot start with that. I hope that part is very, very, very much clear here. Okay. Second thing, we are going to cover everything here. I cannot increase the speed too much that other learners start dropping off, and I cannot keep it very slow also that other learners feels boring. So see, keep in mind, guys, in this way, there would be a lot of things which you don't know it. Maybe you don't know what is Streamlit, a DevOps guy. Okay. So be patient in the same way. In the same way, I'm going to explain you also. So be patient with others also. Okay. So that you understand everything in detail. Okay. Superb. And I'm not going to focus on the doubts right now, guys, because I have already tell you. So those who are really listening to the session, please do not look at the doubts. Don't get confused. Focus on the teaching. I'm trying to put here my experience so that you learn from it. And this session is really helpful. It should not happen that my 2 hours is wasted. So be patient, guys. I am very confident that at the end you are going to thank me that this is a perfect roadmap. So be patient for it. Okay, chalo. Now, what I was saying, add, commit and push. Okay, so basically we are going to add something here. We are making it at the commit stage, which means that everything is ready now. And when I say push, now see here, I will just show you the push part also. There is a command, let's say called as git push. Okay, git push origin, something like that. Okay, so basically what we do here, we push here the things. Now where we push it? We push it to a server here. Okay, now see that I'm going to show you that server also quickly. Just a minute. Yeah. Okay, so now see, this is one of the GitHub repo. And now just look at this. You will understand everything. So in this, if you see that there will be a py file. So imagine that this is your hello.py. So you have written your complete what you call as machine learning code here. Okay. Like I have explained you for linear regression, you can imagine that this py file that you have it is basically nothing but the complete code of your machine learning. Now, after this, what you do the next step is basically you do the git version. Now, where I have pushed this, I have pushed that into this github.com. You can see then there is a thing called as Git Swaraj. I'm going to share that at the end of this link. So basically, I have pushed everything what I have done up till now. Now it is stored into a server here. Now anywhere from anywhere in the world, I can access this server. So this server is called as GitHub, where your complete code is going to be stored. Complete code is being stored. Now, when I use Git is used to push the code and GitHub is used to store that code. Now, you can check here the version history also. Now pay attention here. So my version history is like this. Pay attention, let's go back what I was explaining you. So this is git add, we have added one py file, our accuracy is 85%. Then Priya comes in, Priya adds another py file here, okay, and Priya again commits it, that added age detection feature with 89% accuracy, okay. Then Rahul comes into the picture, he adds something here, git add fraud, something like that, fraud detection wala code. Again, he also commit that code, and the accuracy is now 95%. Now, if you see the logs, you will see that this is my first log, pay attention. There is the complete hash code here, unique code for every log, that first it was added 85%, then 89, and now it is 95%. The same example which I explained you. Now, after that, let's say someone came and he or she broke the code. Someone broke the code. Now, no problem at all. No matter, do whatever you want to do with code. I can easily use this git revert. I would say the code which I want to go back. I want to go back to this revert code. So I will just say git revert this one, and I will go back to the Priya's stable version. So in this way, very easily I would be able, okay, in this way, very easily I would be able to, let's imagine that this is my code. Let's say this is branch 1. Here Rahul was working. Okay, then let's say after that, he worked on multiple features. Then Priya came, Priya worked on this feature. Then someone else also came, he worked on that feature. Now when I see that this is very much stable, this is 95%. Let's say if I want to go back, I will go back, whatever it is. And then finally, once everything is done, I'm going to merge it with my original code here. Okay, so I have a very stable version. So now you are working on a branch to improve the things. Once you are confident that everything is working, now only you work it with your main branch. You merge it with the main branch and your code is ready. The second part of MLOps is that crystal clear, everyone. A big thumbs up till now. Everyone, crystal clear on each and every part. Awesome, super. There are some more commands also, you will see it later on. Like for example, git checkout. You can go to different branches. Like I can go to Diwali special verification. There are multiple branches. We can go back to this. Yes, you can, after merging also, you can go back to that. Okay. Yes, very good. Merging concept is very simple. If you have multiple branches, multiple people are working on that. Okay, let's imagine that this is feature 1, this is feature 2. At the end, you can merge all these things together. Okay, and you can merge it with your main branch, which means that only one code at the end will work here. Okay, so merging with the original code, that's perfectly right. Okay, master, main, whatever you call it, both of them are same. Okay, so a quick revision before we move to the next part. We have understood that as a first thing, I'm going to make a machine learning model. Second step, to be a good MLOps engineer, I need to do a Git versioning of it. And that is really very easy. I would say that to make a machine learning model, it might take 3 months for you to learn everything in detail. Git and Git version, you can just learn that completely in detail with hands-on practice in just a week. So in 1 week, you can be a master of Git and GitHub. Okay, because there are just commands, you need to understand the commands and how to use them. Super. Now, let's move to the next part, everyone. Okay, a quick thing, like I explained you. Git init, a quick summary. You start a project. Then add and commit to save the milestones. Whatever you have worked, I can save it using add and commit. Git log to see the complete project history. Okay, and git revert if you want to go back to any stable version. Let's say I am here, I want to again go back to this, I can do that. Git branch means experiment without breaking the main code. So this is my main code. I don't want to change this, so I will create a copy of it that is called as branch. So exact same copy of this would be present here. I can start working on this. I can add a feature like this. So this is my final feature. Everything is done. Now I can create one more branch here. I can add more features here. And then finally, when this feature is also working, this feature is also merging, I'm going to just simply merge it. Okay? Yes. Commit is basically just adding it your file. Just saving your milestones is called as commit. Super awesome. Okay? So dev will merge the code or MLOps. Dev and MLOps, that works together. So like in my role right now, I need to do this merging. So a dev person would do that. Okay? Now, there is something also called as DVC that is totally optional. So if time permits, I'm going to explain you at the end. Even if I don't explain this, these notes are super awesome. You can understand what is DVC. We will not spend time on that. If time permits, we will come on it. Okay, now, the next part is really very amazing. And this is what I want to do it. Okay, now, guys, what I have done for this MLOps session, okay, you are going to get this notes. Now, guys, to explain you this and to make this MLOps masterclass very awesome, I created a project that can do IPL prediction. Okay, but now if I show you .py file, so how a py file will look like? See, py file will look like nothing but simply like this. Okay, for example, like this. Now tell me, if I have written a very awesome code also for IPL match prediction, will this be interesting? Forget about interesting. Can you show this code to your upper management? Okay, I have made a very good code. This is the thing. 101% no. Your upper management would not take a pain to read this code. So now what you can do is you can create a very awesome this type of interface here. See, focus here. What I did, I created this very awesome interface. Now you can see that I will just show you on this tab, interactive demo. You can see that I can simply change here, like let's say my team one is Royal Challengers Bangalore, second team is Kolkata Knight Riders, and the venue is let's say Eden Gardens. Okay, I'm saying that who has won the toss. Let's say I'm saying Kolkata Knight Riders has won it, and I will just say here predict winner. So you will see that I have written this PY code basically here. One is the traditional programming. Traditional programming means I have written here the rules like this. See, traditional programming is nothing just like a rules like this. I have said that the rules are very simple. If venue is there Wankhede, the team is Mumbai Indians, okay, then I will say Mumbai Indians will win. If the venue is Chepauk Stadium and the team is CSK, I will say that Chennai Super Kings is going to win. I can add one more rule here. Let's imagine that if venue is Wankhede, if Neeta Ambani is visiting to watch the match, I will say that in any cost Mumbai Indians would win. So I can write that rules. That is called as traditional programming. Okay. But in machine learning, what we do is exactly like I explained you. I create a machine learning object. I pass my data here, and my model would learn from that data. Okay, and then finally I'm going to return the prediction here. Now see at the interactive demo. If I use this, now see that in my traditional one, I have only two rules. One was for Mumbai Indians, one was for Chennai Super Kings. Okay, now see that both the teams I don't have here. I have RCB and I have Kolkata Knight Riders. So basically what it is saying, key traditional programming has no rules for it. So it is randomly guessing anything. So it's randomly saying that ki Kolkata Knight Riders would win. Randomly it is saying that. Okay, and there is a 50% chance, that dono mein se ek to jeetega, any one would win. Okay, so that is the confidence here. Now see in machine learning, based on the history and all that, it will predict who is going to win. Now, tell me one thing guys, the demo which I showed you right now, okay, the demo which I showed you right now, if I show you the code like this, will this make sense? 101% no, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't look good. So this is exactly the complete use case of Streamlit. What is Streamlit? Basically, you imagine it like this, you have created a model. Model development has done. Okay, you have made a .py file. You have done a Git version of it already. Everything is there. Now, what you do as the next step is, you basically create a small demo here. Okay, you basically create a small demo here. Demo means this type of front-end page you basically created here. This type of front-end page. Where basically what you can do is you can add the sliders, you can move the sliders, okay? You can add a drop down here, you can add multiple tags here, you can add basically the charts here, so that it's look like a proper website. Okay, so if you see this part, this is basically the link that you see here, HTTPS local, something like that. So this is basically like your http://google.com. Okay, do google.com. So like we have created a link here that can show how my ML models look like. So Streamlit is nothing. It's just for a demo purpose. Okay, I will tell you one more thing guys. Okay, very, very, very awesome. I will tell you, when I started it, when I was in Reliance, let's say around 8 to 9 years back, Streamlit was not there, okay? And even if it was there, that was not in a very stable state. So what you need to do, what is the alternative for it? You need to completely understand HTML. You need to understand CSS. Basically like where to keep a component. See, in this case, like for example, this logo what I have created here, bat and ball, this what you call as tabs I have created here, this slider what I have created. So I need to learn a complete new programming language like HTML, CSS, JavaScript and all that stuff. Okay, and that is huge pain to learn all that. Pain in sense it would take time, just like that. Okay, so like I remember I was creating a demo for Reliance, and that demo was very simple. It was a speech recognition. So you can say your pin code like 444607 and it would be able to recognize from your voice. Now I cannot show the code to my management. I have created a demo for it. There was a mic button, there was a mic logo. You can speak in this mic, then you will get the predictions here, all that stuff. Using HTML and CSS I have done it, so it took a huge amount of time. But with Streamlit is really very easy. Okay, so if I just show you, like basically if it was taking, okay, I will just show you a quick code also for that. Let me just quickly show you the code also, so that you get a simple idea of what I am talking about. Nothing other than that. So just let me open up that. Okay, now see, this is basically the code that you see in front of your screen. I don't know if you would not be able to zoom it or not. Okay, and you don't need to zoom it also, that's fine. I just want you to focus on some aspects of it. Okay, just let me do one thing. Okay, now just look at some of the aspects. Now see that if I want to create a markdown, like key learning points, you can see that I can just simply pass the logo here and very easily I can do it. Then after that, for example, if I want to create here the sliders and all that. So let me show you a slider here. So you can see that I can just use here ST means Streamlit like dot slider. So very easily with one line I can create a slider here. Okay, if I want to create a select box, that drop down box that you see, you can do that here. Then if you want to create a button using st.button, you can do it. So Streamlit is the most easy thing, I would say that in your complete MLOps, the most easiest thing. Okay, and just I would say that in 2 or 3 days, you can understand that, 2 or 3 days. So you can understand the Streamlit completely in detail. Okay, Streamlit only works with, yes, I have worked with only PY files, I'm not 100% sure, but there would be 100% alternatives like this for Java also and other things also. Okay, I'm not 100% sure about it because I have worked with Python from my last 8 years. Before that, I used to work on Java. Okay, so is everyone crystal clear up till now? ML model, Git and Streamlit, 100% clear? Yes, it is free open source. No, you don't need to learn UI language. Nothing you need to learn, Sri Lakshmi. Guys, I see very less energy. Everyone, yes or no? Can I see the energy back? I can increase the speed if energy is low. Okay, if you are perfectly liking it, thumbs up. Okay, yes. Awesome. Energy from my side, awesome. Yes, so this is like basically the complete project which I showed you, and don't worry, I'm going to give you this complete project. You are going to get this. You can work on this project by yourself also. Okay, this I have created exactly for this class only, so you are going to get it. Okay, now the next thing is really very amazing. I want, there are multiple alternatives. I'm going to give you all the alternatives at the end also. So now, everyone, I want 100% attention on screen. The next is the most important part. Without this, you cannot do anything. Anything you cannot do it. Now focus on the screen. Now, we have created a ML model here, guys. We have created a ML model. That, let's imagine it like this. You will get that on a WhatsApp group, Shubham. Okay, now pay attention. So, Raghuram, just a minute. You are trying to skip something. I'm going to bring you back and I'm going to explain you this. So, pay attention. Imagine that you have made a model that can predict, let's say the salary based on your resume, based on your experience, that can predict the salary. So you made a model here. Okay, you made a model here. Now, whatever model you have made it, do you think that whatever this demo is there, whatever is the py file is there, okay, this complete thing, let's imagine it like this, I made this machine learning model that can predict the salary. Now, I want that all of you, all 500 of you should be able to use this very well. Tell me one thing, when I share this with all, this py file with all of you 500, and I would say that, okay, run it, predict it, get your salary done, do you think that I will do it like this? 100% no. And if I do that, out of 500, not a single one would take a pain to load this py file, because you need a Python version for it. Okay, you need to load this file. Okay, you need to set up the environment, you need to run it, and then you need to make use of it, like you need to code it. Like for example, model dot predict, okay, then you would give your resume here, and then you will get the salary. Now imagine that I am a non-tech background. Even if I want to do it, I will not be able to use it. So basically what you have seen in real world, Okay, like for example, if I go to magicbricks.com, okay, and I want to, let's say, upload here my house here. Okay, I want to get what would be the price of my house. Let's say Naresh wants to do that. So Naresh would put here all his details, okay, and maybe he can use it like to predict the price of a house. So like here there is a post property for free. You can post your property here, and based on your locality and multiple things, you will get the prediction here. Okay, your house is of 20 crore rupees. Now, there is a machine learning model behind it that can predict the salary. Sorry, that can predict the house price. So, do you think that what I was saying is this ML model that is there. Now, Magic Bricks have made it super easy. Okay, Magic Bricks has made it super easy that anyone in the world, whether it is non-tech, anyone, those who have internet, they can use their model. Say, pay attention what I'm saying. Use the model. I'm not saying to make the model, build the model, delete the model. No. Just he should be able to use that model. Okay. And exactly for this, what you need is that is called as API. That is called as Application Programming Interface. Now let's try to break it down and understand this. And one more thing, guys, I'm just interrupting a flow here and explaining you one very important thing. What is that? See, guys, I'm not here, okay, I'm not here just to what you call as explain you what is the MLOps thing. Okay, I am here to give you a very clear guidance. Okay, then how to exactly, whatever path you are, how to exactly build your career, okay, for the companies. Now see, think for it, guys. Do you think that right now in the world right now we are in, do you think that whatever you want, like this IPL project which I have made, don't you think much more better projects than this are freely available on the internet? Yes or no? Yes or no? 100% yes. Don't you think all the resources which I'm mentioning, that is mentioned in the free on the world? Yes. Now in the era of ChatGPT, you don't need to even search the things. You can ask for it and you can get for it. But now, because of all this, there is one more stuff. The things are very much cluttered now. Now you will see like thousands of videos on YouTube that would explain you how to work with MLOps. Okay, how to work with MLOps. Now, this makes the things more difficult to learn because now you are not on the right path where I to start from. And if I start from, let's say, Git versioning, how much time I should spend on it, where from I should learn it, what I should understand it, how important it is, what is the role for it, am I learning in the right path, or okay, should I wait and should I do Streamlit first? There are too much information. Yes, perfectly right. And that's why what you are going to pay for is, you are not going to pay for the resources, you are going to pay for the guidance. Okay, whether you join Scalar or not, whatever you think you do it, everyone agree with me, you are actually paying for the guidance here, yes or no? 100%? 101% yes, you are not paying for anything else, you are paying for the guidance. And that's what I'm trying to bring it here. So if you're stuck at any point, keep in mind, guys, anything new you want to learn it, remember your old school days. There is never you directly start learning it. There is the first thing that is called as story. You always learn new things from a story perspective. But as we grow old, we try to remove the story wala component. And that's what, guys, if you see that when I started with the session, many learners were saying that, okay, Akash, we are doing it very slow. Can you skip to the main part? Let's skip to this. Let's do this. No, that is a very bad way of learning. Once you have understood the story, ki, acha, this is exactly how I can connect with the real world, that's my guarantee, 100% you will never forget that concept. Never. See, you might remember the crow wala story, the thirsty crow, because it was a story. Okay, so same way, now whatever you learn, okay, like say you are going to learn Git, you are going to learn GitHub, make sure that you connect with story, ki why I want it, how that is useful in industry, okay, spend some time on that. Then after story, learn for the maths part behind it. Now again, maths is not at all difficult. Watch some of my videos also. Okay, those who have learned with me, Okay, maths is not difficult. The only thing is that you might have not used the right resource. So make sure that you make the things very easy. If you see that, okay, maths is difficult, change the instructor. Immediately change the instructor. Because maths is not difficult. You need to make the things more simple. Okay, so just do that stuff. Okay, yes, if maths is not understandable, change the instructor. You have a lot of free instructors available on YouTube. Just watch that and you would understand, be able to do that. And then after that, do the code part. Now, if you follow this process, you can make any project after this. Machine learning projects, anything you can do in the same. Exactly same thing I'm trying to mimic here. From a story perspective, I'm explaining you. Then I'm explaining you how it works in the backend, like I've explained you ML, and then the code part of it. But this is like a very overview of it, but make sure that you follow this. This makes sense, guys? Quick thumbs up. This makes sense? Quick thumbs up. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, yes. No, I was just saying, Vincent, key, like you can learn from anywhere. Okay, let's take the doubts also a little bit. But just I wanted to complete one part and then I will give you the summary and the break also. I have already completed 1 hour for all of you. Just let me complete it with the API part. And yes, then we will have a break. Okay? Okay, perfect. Now, like I said, you API is application programming interface. So what is this? See, I will give you one very beautiful example to understand that. You have a company called as Uber. Okay, and then you have a company called as Google Maps. Now, Uber is doing a complete separate job of giving you the cabs. So let's imagine it like this. Karthik has booked a cab from location A. Okay, let's say from Jumri Talaiya, okay, to Taj Mahal. So he's going from A location to B location. Charge your MacBook. Thank you so much. Okay. Yes. So what I was saying, Karthik is going from A location to B location. Now, Uber has these details that Karthik is standing at Jumri Talaiya, that is location T1, and he wants to go to Taj Mahal, that is T2. Let me share my screen. Okay. So what I was saying, Karthik is going to go from Jumri Talaiya to Taj Mahal. Okay, from T1 to T2 location. But now, let's say Uber does not know the exact route for it. So he can go from this route also. Okay, he can go directly from this route also, second route. Okay, he can go from the third route also. I don't know what is the right one for it or what is the easiest or the smallest one for it. Okay, so now one thing is that what Uber can do, Uber can make his own model. Okay, train all the algorithms, try to find the shortest path. But what would happen because of that? Maybe months would be gone into that. Maybe he's not able to make such a beautiful model that we have with Google Maps. So what Google Maps says is, I already have that model, everything built. Okay. Now you can communicate with me. So like for example, if I want to communicate with you, I am using an interface here. This interface is basically this platform that you see that is called as Drona platform, where you can type, you can do thumbs up, thumbs down, add the comments, add the doubts, you can do everything that is called as interface. So same way, now when two applications, Uber is your application 1 and Maps is your application 2. When two applications wants to communicate, like an instructor and students wants to communicate, Drona is a platform. Similarly, app 1 wants to communicate with app 2. Okay, it needs an interface. And do you think that, guys, there would be a human behind it? He would see the set and type it like this, ki Karthik wants to go from Jumri Talaiya to Taj Mahal? No. It is done using programming, completely automated way. So that interface is created using API. So basically what happens is, whatever machine learning model you have made it, you make it like interface where a person can come and it can communicate with it. So imagine that this is Google Maps model. Okay, so Uber is this guy. Uber is going to come to this Google Maps. He would say that this is my location 1, this is my location 2, these are my 2 requests. Okay, give me the shortest path in that. So Google Maps would understand the communication and it will give the result to the Uber. This is the shortest path and in 15 minutes you can reach it there. So you can communicate to your client in the same way. It will take 15 minutes to reach them. Okay? Yes. Perfect. So that is called as API. Now, going back and let's look, we have understood from a story perspective, from a maths perspective, let's look at from the code perspective. So you can see that I have mentioned Zomato, Uber, but I have taken here the Swiggy example. Okay, so you are a customer, there is an API. So this is your basically the front end where a person can do all the code. Now this code would make an API call. API call means I want to order, let's say from restaurant 1 and I want to order paneer tikka. So these are my two details that I put that in an API call. API call would go to backend Firebase, like basically to authenticate and multiple stuff, all that stuff is there. You can ignore it for now. Let's not make the things confusing here. So all this request that you have, that the restaurant, okay, the paneer tikka, that goes to the Google API, okay, and then it gets completed here using the Zomato. Okay, so this is how exactly the things works here. So basically you create a ML model. Now pay attention here guys. This is exactly the complete part. You create a ML model. Let me just explain you. ML model. Now this ML model is basically, okay, now this ML model is basically what you call as the next step is the get version. Then after get version, basically what you do is you create an API for it, which means that now this model is able to listen and hear. Okay, so I will take the same example so that Vignesh, you don't get confused. Okay, pay attention guys, pay attention. What I'm explaining is pay attention. You don't get confused, that's why I'm taking the same example. Imagine it like this, you have made a machine learning model here that can take all of your details. Okay, what are that details? Maybe imagine that your order and it will just predict nothing, just simple the time here, how much time it would take. Okay, that time it is going to predict. So now what things I need here? I need the restaurant, what you are booking from, restaurant 1, restaurant 2, and then what you are booking, let's say I'm doing paneer tikka here. So these three things would go to my model, whatever you have trained on, whatever your model is for, that three things you would require here. Maybe Google API might not need these three things, it might need three other things there. Whatever it would need, that model would ask for. Okay, let's say if I am predicting the salary, I might need your experience, I might need your resume, two things, so I will ask you for two things. So that two things you would pass it to this API. This API would take that and API would give you the result. It would take 15 minutes. Similarly, you have trained a model. The model is ready for serving, that is called as API. Okay, yes, like a Netflix movie recommendation. So you will put your age, you will put your history there. Okay, that is in the API. Okay, so like for example, the request is here, this one. Okay, this is the one more better example. You want to predict whether this transaction is fraud or not. So you have made a machine learning model for it. Your model is ready for API. Okay, which means that you can put the request here. So I'm putting the UPI transaction request here and I'm checking with the model, is it fraud or not? And it says that yes, response is that 87% probability is that it is a fraud. Then you can give to your application that your transaction is cancelled. Please try again or put your some verification things more like that. So this is called as API. See the example for it and then I will take whatever doubts you have. I think after this example, the things would be crystal clear. After this example, so pay attention. So same thing I have done here. Immediately in a minute, you will get that using the code. So now see, to make this API, I need something called as Flask. So there are multiple other alternatives also for that. That is called as Fast API also. There is Django also. Okay, anything is fine. Django was used a lot before, but now that is not much relevant. So Fast API and Flask are more relevant in the real world right now. So now this is the import from Flask. Import this Flask module, request and JSONify. Okay, JobLib I will explain you what is that for. Now pay attention everyone. Using this Flask, I have created an object for a Flask to create an API. I have created an object for it. Okay, Flask is just a tool to create an API. Flask is just a tool to create an API. So I've created an object for it. Now pay attention on this app. Okay, now just pay attention on this app. So now what I do is, see, pay attention. Pay attention everyone on the screen, guys. When you save your text file, everyone agree with me, it is stored in a .txt format? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? 101% yes, it is saved in a .txt format. If I store a docs file, it is stored in a docs format. If I store a PDF file, it is stored in a PDF format. Same way, when you want to store a machine learning model, it is stored in a .pkl format. .pkl format. Okay. Yes, Flask is super relevant, guys. Okay, whatever I am keeping here, this is super relevant in industry. You can go right now and you can check that also. Celigo is my company. We have a very awesome project, like the product in Celigo. Okay, that is integration as a platform service. Millions of users are doing it, and it is perfectly deployed on only and only on Flask. You can check that. Okay, now coming back, what I was saying, your machine learning model is stored in .pkl format. PKL. Like you have different formats, you have this PKL format. So whatever machine learning model I have made, I have stored that in salary_model.pkl. Okay. So now using this job lib, I can load that model. So my model is ready now here. Okay. Now see that this app object that I have created, I'm going to use that app here, and I'm saying app.route/predict. Now, what do you mean by this predict? See, if you see that, I can just type here, for example, predict here. Okay, I will just keep that here. So you can see that this is the URL. And after that, whatever thing I do after a slash, if I write predict, if I write home, if I write Aman, if I write Jagannath, whatever I write it here, now that would be linked to this function. So immediately the moment I call this predict, this function would be called automatically. So now what this function is doing, see, pay attention. Okay, so this function is basically taking the request. So what happens is, this is basically my website, or you can call it as a Streamlit page or something like that. There is a field there that is called as experience, and there is a button called as predict. This button is called as predict button. Okay, so now I will put my experience here 6, and the moment I click on this predict button, okay, I have mapped this predict button basically to this predict function. So the moment I click this, pay attention guys, see, you would be able to make the connections now. The moment I click on this button, this function would start running. Okay, whatever data you have kept here, that data would be loaded here. Using this request.json, I'm loading that data here. So basically, that experience is being stored here. So in this experience now, I have 6. Now I'm using the model which I have trained above, and I'm saying model.predict, and I'm saying I want to predict on this experience here, that is 6. Okay, and I will get here the prediction, that is 60K. Now, guys, don't you think here that whatever model I have made, so in API I have just done nothing. I have just said that now this model is able to hear every request. So I have requested here, years of experience is 6, and this model is going to give me the salary for that. So it is just nothing, just a model sitting in between that would take a request and will give you the output. Okay, so 6 is basically coming from here, and all this is in a JSON format. These are all the formats you will see later on. Forget about all that. I just need to explain you the code here. Some data is coming here. We are passing that data here, and we are getting the prediction. Then finally, I'm just going to return the experience that I have predicted here. That's it. So now, the thing that you were just having a model, now this model is able to hear you. So you don't need a person who is good at coding. Now anyone can put the values here and he can get the output here. Is that perfectly crystal clear, everyone, what is API? A very big yes or no. The final yes or no before we go on a break.
Yes.
100%. मजा आया समझ में आया everyone? Can I see the energy? Really interesting? Yes. Awesome. I really love the energy, guys. Okay, I really love the energy. Perfect. Okay, awesome. Very good. Now, I will give little bit time for Apurva to speak something. She is waiting for that from a long time. Okay, so Apurva, over to you. We will have a 5 minutes ka break here, and we will meet after 5 minutes. You're muted, Apurva.
Okay. Thank you so much, Akash. I think everybody is extremely loving the session so much. So nobody ever even talked about break. So it's fine. It's going good, I feel. Okay. So we are starting the break at 6:21. We will be in a break till 6:26. Is that okay for everybody? Yes? Perfect. Okay, now coming to some of the other things that I had to share before. Yes. I'll be sharing the link. Please just give me 1 second. I think there are a lot of people who are not yet a part of the WhatsApp community. Just give me 1 minute. I will get the link for you. If you are already a part of it, don't worry, you'll not have to go anywhere else. You will be receiving all of the links on the same community. But if you're not a part of the WhatsApp, I will just share the link with you. I'm just getting it for you. Just 1 minute. Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I just sent it to Akash. Yeah. So this is the WhatsApp group link. I have shared it on the notice board also. Next is, I think someone asked, is there a full course for ML Ops? Someone is asking other things about Scalar, what are the different topics. Just letting you know that there is ML Ops is part of the AI and machine learning program here at Scalar Sarthak. But if you talk about, a separate module for, if there is a separate module for AI, for ML Ops, that is not there. It is a part of the curriculum. Also, if just a quick update about our curriculum, we have recently partnered with IIT Roorkee, and this certification will include advanced courses. A lot of you are having more experience than other folks, so this certification course is for them. So if you choose to be a part of Scalar, this certification will be automatically included with the AIML program. But if you choose some other program of Scalar, it will be available with an optional upgrade. And it is accessible after 9 months. All right. So if you are someone who's looking for a more advanced course in AI engineering, I'll just launch a poll. And if you have other questions as well, the questions can be around the curriculum, it can be around the fee, it can be around, I'm coming from such and such field, and I want to upskill. Is this the correct time for me? How should I get started? What are the different resources? Like someone who is saying that I am not a coder, how is it going to help me? So for all of those doubts, all of those questions, guys, you just need to keep in mind that there are 500 people in the session, and we'll not be able to take all personal doubts in the class. So in case you want your answers, if you want someone to get in touch with you over a call, the poll is active, and I would request you all to please participate in the poll, which is running in front of you. For the fee, for scholarships, all of those questions, I think it will be available. Along with that, I think, guys, please participate in the poll if you have questions about fee, etc. Other than that, I hope that you are liking the class today. If you are someone who wants to register for some of our other sessions, I'm sharing the link, which is the Scalar events page, where all of the upcoming classes, whatever classes are upcoming, they are updated here on the events page. So if you're someone who's gotten up for the break, please make sure that you are coming back and checking out the notice board for all important links are pinned there. The poll which is active right now, Sarthak, is for the career counselor. If you have doubts, if you have questions, you can just participate, and you and someone from the counseling team will be getting in touch with you within 48 hours. The AI and machine learning program is heavily oriented towards ML ops and LLM ops. Rupa, if you are just focused on only one topic, I need a course only on that. I would suggest you better look at Scalar topics, where some of the resources are, if that is helpful to you. But if you are looking for scalar and you want to just get one, you want more information on just one, that is not possible because AI, ML, this is all a part of the curriculum. All right, it is the part of the very vast curriculum. It is 9 to 11 months. It goes till, and it has different modules for beginner, for intermediate, and for advanced learners. So please make sure that you have participated in the poll and you are getting in touch with our counseling team, and they will be able to help you out. Just two more upcoming. I'll just share two links. There is an upcoming free class on data science. This is a beginner oriented session where you will be knowing more about data science as a field. And the next is an upcoming masterclass on what does it take to be a data scientist at Microsoft, which is happening on 16th. So if you're interested, the link is shared. I hope everybody has started to come back. The certificate, I think a lot of people were asking about the certificate. We'll be sharing the certificate link on the same WhatsApp community after the session is done. I hope that you guys have come back. Just quickly give me a thumbs up. 5 minutes are up. I hope everybody's here. Sharing the link once more if you have not yet joined it. I've shared it on the chats and it's also there on the notice board. Rahul, the counselors will be able to help you out. Akash, if you're here, we can get started.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Apurva. Okay, so guys, we can continue now. So there is a necessity. A little bit, just understand the pipeline, then I will take it out. Okay, yes, chalo. How to make a machine learning model. Once your model is ready.py file, you are going to do git version for it. Okay, you are going to make a version of it. Now, once it is a git version, everything is controlled. You are going to make an API for that. Basically, you would make your model that can listen the things, okay, and that can give you the output. Now, once your API is ready, you can create here the Streamlit. Okay, now this is totally optional, but very much used in industry. This is for demo purpose only. Okay, so once you have made this a demo, now it's the exact deployment part comes in. Now, what do you mean by deployment and why do we need it here? Pickles and all that we will come on it, Satish. At the end, you can ask me. Right now, just understand the flow, okay? So that you know exactly where you stand and you can work on that. Chalo. Now, complete attention back on the screen. Once again, guys, there is no sense of writing the doubts because I'm not going to look at it where I'm explaining you. I'm going to give you time to ask everything. Again, in the pipeline, if you have any doubt, I will take it. But if you are going very much deep into the code, that would take time. You need to understand multiple things here, and then we can go into deep into the code. So that also I'm very happy to explain you, but not at the right moment. Okay, the right moment for that would come later. Right now, focus on the screen. Chalo. Now, this is part we have created. You can imagine it like this, guys. Ki this is something IPL prediction is ready. Okay. Now, guys, take this. Okay, do one thing. So I have the complete application ready, Git version is ready, API is ready, everything is ready, Streamlit demo is ready. And everyone, can you open this link and try to run this application? Everyone, can you do that? Quickly just try, just click on that link. Just click on this link. Is it working for anyone? Thumbs up if it is working for anyone. 101% it is not possible. It will not work in your computer. Why? Because if you see in the link which I have given you, okay, the link is something like this. It is called as local host. Local host means it is going to Raj, I will say that keep practice on this, do whatever you want to do it, comment it, code it, whatever you want, and that is it. Is this possible? Can you give your laptop to all of your clients? 101% no. Okay, so now what you do is, instead of from local host, you try to bring it on a cloud. Cloud means that all your code, everything would be now on a cloud. Cloud in simple terms, you can call it as a server. So anywhere, let's say for example, Nikhil is sitting in Kanyakumari, okay, Sapna is sitting in, let's say Goa. So anywhere you are, you can hit this cloud server and you can use my project. You don't need to take my laptop for it. Okay, now see, I have one more beautiful example to explain you this part, how deployment is very important and why deployment is super important. So you can imagine it like that, whatever we have done in the last 1.5 hours, that is like development. Development means, imagine that cooking at home. Imagine it like this, ki we have Nikhil. Now, Nikhil has made something very, very, very delicious food that we have never tested it before. Like for example, he has made Pahado Wali Maggi. Something like that, he has made something that is super awesome. Then, that is called as development. So the Maggi is ready 100%. Then what Nikhil does a testing for that. He asks his multiple friends, okay, to taste your food. Okay, like for example, let's say one friend he has asked, he said it is very good. But he will not stop at that. He will ask multiple friends that, is this Maggi good? Now, once he saw that this testing is working perfectly fine, everything is working fine, okay, now what he can do is, from development, he can go to deployment. Deployment means now opening the restaurant for public. Now, everything was locally inside the home. Now, what Nikhil has done, Nikhil has made it available to the public. Anyone from any world can come to his restaurant and he can taste that Maggi. So that is called as deployment. And that's what we want to do with our machine learning. We have made machine learning model in my computer. I want to make it on the cloud so everyone can use it. Okay, that is called as deployment. And finally, there is also called as production. Production means serving thousands of customers daily. Now imagine it like this, ki we have made this, Nikhil has made this restaurant. But this restaurant, he has made it, but that restaurant remains closed or people are not coming to that. So then that is not in production. That is basically just the deployment part. When multiple people start coming on that, working on it, let's imagine on that, ki on Diwali, there are thousands of people are coming. Now Nikhil needs to use some strategy here that I need more workers, I need more fast processing speed, I need more resources, maybe I need like more machines. So that all things you need to think for it, that is called as production. And exactly same happens with this also. Now, recently this Big Billion Days and this Great Amazon Festival, you see that there is a huge PR for that. Ki like iPhone 16, iPhone 17, iPhone 16 is getting like 20,000 less and something all that. Okay. Now, don't you think when this Big Billion Day would come, there would be millions of people that are going to use that website? Do you think that in some chotu motu sa servers it would be able to handle that? No, you need like production grade servers for it. And that's what you are going to see how to make that. Okay. So this is exactly how the next part of the session would be. So from your local, now it's time to jump into the real world, that is called as deployment. Awesome. Perfect. All of you have understood with this example. Very good. Now pay attention guys here. This is right now my folder structure in my local. Okay, that is called as deployment. Okay, now I have a folder structure here. Now my folder structure is basically here. Like you can say ML or salary prediction. I have a app.py file. Okay, this is basically the Flask file. We will see that also, Piyush, that how to add the namak, mirchi, dhania powder, everything we are going to see. That is there. That is called as CI/CD. I will come on it. So now we have made a Flask file here. Everyone again pay attention. This is the Flask file. That is the API file. Then this is my model file where I have stored my model. Then there is a requirement files. Now, what do you mean by requirement file? See, everyone agree that with me I have my model ready, okay? But to make this model, I would need a lot of requirements here. Like for example, I would need the Python. Okay, I would need some libraries like sklearn. So these are some libraries that are needed to run this model. Now see that here also. You will see that. So like this is called as library. We need a Flask library to run this API. We would need here. Okay, we would need here. This is called as your machine learning library also. See, this is your machine learning library that is called as sklearn. Without these libraries, I would not be able to run this on cloud. So everything that I have in local, now I need to put that in cloud. So what I will need a requirement file. Okay, and then there is something very amazing. This has changed the complete machine learning and really made machine learning very useful. I will come on this part, Docker one. Okay, first let's understand the requirement one. So see, this is a requirement.txt file. Whatever I have the requirements, I just keep it down in one file. Imagine it like this, the same Nikhil wala example. Nikhil wants to open a restaurant. So what are important things for the restaurant? That requirement, he has mentioned that here. Like for example, he need namak, dhania, jeera, lemon, the machines, okay, everything, whatever he needs, let's say the land, machines, permissions, everything is mentioned that in the requirements file, everything. Okay. Now, the next part here is something called as Docker file. You have seen this, there is a Docker file. Now, what do you mean by Docker? Now, this is really very amazing. One more example, one more story, and you will never forget this after this. See, guys, have you seen that like in your Kapil Sharma show also, or this music concerts that you have from, let's say Coldplay or anyone also? Okay, so in that you have seen that. Tell me what is the most difficult thing? Anyone can guess? What is the most difficult thing in this live concerts? Like you have from Sony Nigar, or when you have it from, let's say, Coldplay, what is the most difficult thing? Okay, if anyone don't know is about it, that's fine. No, not exactly that. All are fine, but that is the drum setup that you have it. Okay, that drum setup. That is very, very, very time taking. Every drum you need to tune it. Okay, you need to manage it. You need to put it, yes, like that. So you need that complete drum setup. Okay, so that is the most difficult thing to tune. I'm not telling about that crowd management and all that. That is separate thing. But in terms of instrument, like for example, you have violin, you have guitars, that is easy. But this drum setup, you have a huge setup, like 16, 17 drums, and you need like a very good amount of time to set it up. Now imagine it like this, ki Sonu Nigam has this one of his, what he called as, one of his concert in Mumbai. Okay, and after like 7 to 8 hours, he has the concert in Pune. Then what he will do? So in Mumbai, he needs to set up everything, spend 4 hours of time in setting up that. Then after everything is packed up, he again needs 4 hours to disassemble this, again put that into something, take it to Pune, again assemble it, everything. So that is huge time consuming. And same thing happens in your machine learning also. Now think for it. You have done a lot of things. You have installed all the requirements. You have all the model files, PKF file, everything you have it here. Now, you need to again set it up, everything on the cloud, all the things. Again, you need to spend